In the last video, we talked about how to use the automatically pull phone numbers and emails feature from the universal parser to pull the emails and phone numbers from a cell into their own column. In that example, it worked really well, partially because there was only one email and phone number. But what happens when you have multiple phone numbers and they can't really be interchangeable? So in our column E, investor contact 1, we see that they've listed out their telephone and cell phone numbers, and they've designated that if it's a telephone number, it's going to start with TEL : and then the number, and then for cell phone numbers, it's going to be CEL : and then the cell phone number. So if we were to run column E through the automatically pull emails and phone numbers for the columns that have 2 phone numbers, it would create 2 new columns, each with the first phone number and then the second phone number for that row. And then for the columns that only have 1 phone number, it's going to just pull that 1 phone number and pull it into the first phone number column, the first new phone number column it generated. And so the issue with that is, for the most part, it's going to be fine because telephone numbers are the first phone numbers. And for the most part, if someone is going to have a phone number, they're going to have a telephone number. But there are a few situations here where they don't have a telephone number, but they do have a cell phone number. And if we were to run the automatically pull phone number feature, is going to pull this cell phone number into the first new phone column, and you might mistakenly label that as a telephone number instead of a cell phone number. So let's see what we can do the universal parser to avoid this issue. Come into universal parser. I'm going to upload our file. I'm going to select our column of investor contact 1. I'm going to come into parsing instructions, and we are going to type quotation mark, which is the second important symbol within parsing instructions besides the bracket. And we are going to type out TEL : and parentheses, space, and then bracket. Let's just call this business phone. And then I'm going to hit enter, enter a quotation mark, CELL : quotation, space, bracket, and let's say this is personal cell. All right, let's hit parse. We can see that this has the edited target column, business phone, and personal cell. All right, so you can see for the entries that did not have any cell phone or telephone numbers, nothing was pulled. For the ones that did have cell phone or telephone, it pulled telephone into business phone. Here I pulled out both of them correctly. And then for our special use case where this person doesn't have a telephone number but does have a cell phone number, it correctly assigned that number to the cell phone column and not the business phone column. And so you'll also notice that in column F, the edited target column, it pulled out wherever it found TEL : and CELL : and it removed that. And if it did have a phone number, it also removed that. So now what you have left is a much simplified column. And so let's take this And let's run it through the universal parser again. This time we are going to select the edited investor contact, and we are now going to pull out all of the emails. And for that, we can simply click automatically grab emails and phone numbers. And as you can see, we have pulled out all of the emails. And you can see that all we sort of have left now is just the name of the contact and their title. And now we can take this and we're going to run this through the universal parser again. This time we're going to select the edited investor contact number 1. And this time we are going to put into our parsing instructions contact, enter title, and hit parse. Okay, and now we have all of our contacts separated out by their title. You might need to do some housekeeping on this, such as removing all email from this. And voila, you have successfully went from very dense information all collected into one cell into parsed information where you successfully pulled out the contact, title, and their email and their business and cell phone numbers very systematically in a very repeatable process.